everybody. Welcome to B.O. Boys for February 16th, Sunday. F it, it's a raw feed. We're doing it live. I'm Clayton.
Yeah, I'm Pat, and we're doing this for the second time in a row. I'm going to call it out.
I knew.
Clayton did not hit record. We talked for about a half hour.
No,
it was incredible.
it
I
wasn't.
gave my best material.
But that voice you hear, that's my mom. So we're having a party today, SNL 50. I hope they press record tonight. I really, really hope they have someone who remembers to press record on their show.
Listen, I pulled a Bill Simmons.
He didn't press record. So we do have a special guest. It's my mom. My mom is here. First time a guest will have to perform twice. And it is the mother here.
I mean, this is the equivalent of Jennifer Lawrence. I did not press record on Jennifer Lawrence the way Bill Simmons did.
This is stunning. So, Mom, thank you for joining the B.O. Boys. I got to ask you again, and you answered so well the first time when Clayton wasn't recording. I forgot what I said. But are you a frequent listener?
Could you play it back, please?
Well, he can't because he didn't press record.
There we go.
If he had pressed record, he could have played you all that back.
I'll take all the ribbing from your mom, but I will not take any ribbing from you, Pat. That's how this show works.
But any ribbing from me is ribbing that I've learned how to do from her.
That's true. Yes. You learn from the greatest.
Yes.
So are you a listener of the B.O. Boys? How often do you
I am. I listen all the time.
Now, that's not the answer you gave when we originally recorded. I asked you this question. But you're saying now.
Well, I thought about it. I said, oh, maybe I should say.
See, the retake was good.
It was. Very good.
You listen to us every minute? You all the way to the end?
I catch all your little 2 seconds on Instagram.
Okay, so to you, the show or the clips on Instagram, they're not the full out, because these shows are actually about an hour and a half.
I mean, I have a life.
There we go.
So you have a life, so you watch the short clips on Instagram. Are you able to get through the full clips, or do you stop the clips at some point?
It depends. It depends. When you start going into statistics, I'm like, oh, all right.
Well, that's what this whole show is about to be. You
lose me from the beginning then.
So
speaking of which,
but you did come to our live show.
Yes, I did.
You met our intern Christopher, our VP of interns. What do you think of Christopher?
Very sweet, very, very ambitious young man.
She mentions the word ambitious, Clayton.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I look right at you.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah. So you got the feeling of what was going on there. Yeah.
Kinda.
He was trying to elbow in.
Yes.
And he was going for, the charm offensive.
Right.
Yeah.
He played the mama card.
He did. He's a smart boy.
So now, Mom, you met our VP of interns, Christopher, who clearly wants Clayton's job. Just from the interaction you had with him, do you think he would have pressed record on the podcast that you were
without
on?
A doubt.
Without a doubt, he would have pressed record immediately. I mean, he would have seen what a big deal it is to finally get you on the show.
Right.
That you're spending your valuable time with us.
Exactly.
And he would have hit the big, because if you look at what's in front of Clayton, it is a big red button.
Yeah.
That is the record button.
Oh, is it really? Oh my God.
You could see it from where you are.
Yes.
And it is pretty big. So Christopher would have hit record. You agree?
Yes.
But he's not here right now, and
he would point out that Clayton didn't.
He's right now. He's listening to this because Christopher.
He's going to cut these clips. He's going to cut this clip.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. He's guaranteed the clip he used from the show will be us talking about Clayton didn't hit record. Right. So
I should learn Christopher's address. So anytime this starts happening, I just say his address out loud, and then he can't use the clip.
Okay.
Or his phone number or something.
Phone number, clip, social security number.
Yeah, right. Well, that would be the one. It's a social security
number. That's kind of criminal.
Yeah, well, there you go. I love that my mom is now trying to get you put in prison.
Yeah.
She immediately goes to, that's a criminal act.
I mean, that's potential scam.
Yeah, yeah. So
you don't want our intern to get swatted?
So, Clayton, for the second time today, I think it's time for you to do a plow, which is, Mom, that is when now you know it is because you saw him do this a half hour ago.
For the second time, yes.
For the second time, you get to sit here and listen to Clayton read the top 5 movies for the box office weekend
Yes.
of Friday, February 14th.
Okay. Captain America: Brave New World made $88.5 million in its first weekend of release. Number 2, Paddington in Peru, another newbie, made $13 million in its first weekend. Number 3, Hard Eyes made $10 million plus 20%. No theater change. It's at $21.3 million in its second weekend of release. Number 4, Dogman made $9.7 million, down 30%. It lost 553 theaters. It's at $66.8 million in its third weekend of release. Number 5, another newbie, Niza 2, made $7.3 million in only 660 theaters. It's at 7.3 in its first weekend. Number 6, Love Hurts made $4.3 million, down 25%. No theater change. It's at $12.2 million in its second weekend. And let's keep going because number 7, Mufasa: The Lion King made $4.1 million, up 4%.
Wow.
It lost 705 theaters. It's at $240.7 million in its ninth weekend. And number 8, One of Them Days made $2.9 million, up 4%. It lost 694 theaters. It's at $43.5 million in its fifth weekend of release.
Wow.
All right. Is it more stunning hearing those numbers the second time in the past 30 minutes?
Just as boring.
Wow. So I'll count that as saying it's damning on the movies, what you said.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what you meant.
I mean, none of those movies I even heard of.
Well, you did see one of them. We'll talk about Dogman again.
Okay.
Mufasa, though, The Lion King, that came in 7. It's been out for 2 months now. Can you tell us again, you didn't see this movie. Your granddaughters, you didn't take them to see it.
Right.
Why didn't you end up seeing Mufasa in the theater?
Well, because my oldest, 7 years old, she had no interest in seeing it. I think this week they're home from school, so I kind of talked them into seeing Paddington in Peru.
Okay.
Because that looks really cute.
Okay, yeah, let's talk about...
I haven't seen any of the other Paddingtons, but this caught my eye. I said, this looks cute.
I mean, do you want to get into Paddington in Peru?
Let's get into Paddington in Peru.
That came in number 2. It made $13 million. Now, I will tell you, Mom, Paddington in Peru made $13 million. It was on the low end of the expectations for its first weekend. So it didn't do that great. You know, the projections were around 15 to 20 million and made 13 million.
And it opened this weekend?
It opened this weekend. This is the first weekend.
All right, give it a chance. The kids are off this week.
Okay. So your first prediction of this episode, you think Paddington will rebound during the week?
Yeah, it might, because there's no kiddie movies out to go see them. I mean, we saw Dogman, but this is basically the only other one if I want to get them out for the day.
Okay.
Give the mother a break.
Give the mother a break. Okay. Right. Is that your main role in where you live? Because you live with my sister and her husband and your grandkids.
And three granddaughters.
And would you say at this point your role is to give
Mama a break?
Give her a break.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't want her to hear this.
I mean, what do you think the chances are Colette will hear this episode in full?
0.
0. Even you don't think you're enough of a draw to get your daughter to listen to it?
Maybe right. The fact that I'm on it, right? She might.
But me, her brother being on it is not enough. And you don't think Clayton here is enough of a draw?
I don't know. I don't know.
That's a nice diplomatic answer.
Right.
I think the answer is no.
So, I mean, Clayton, what do you think about this opening weekend for $13 million? That felt low. But
here's the thing with kids' movies.
Yeah.
Is that it's hard to get, it's hard to get everybody together, take them somewhere, get them in the car, get them wherever you need them to go.
Right.
I think we're seeing this happening with movies like Mufasa opened low, but it had decent paws, good legs, right? I think this is going to be similar to what you were saying, is that parents know that they're going to have kids on their hands this
whole
week.
week. Yeah.
So they're waiting. So they're going to take them to Paddington in Peru this week instead of the weekend where they'd be competing with all the Bazinga Bros going to see Captain America, all the couples in love going to see Hard Eyes, you know, all the people who have nothing else to do who would go see Love Hurts. So I think the Galentine's Day crowd who went to see One of Them Days, I think Paddington, they can wait for it. I think it's not one of those things that there's, you know, we got to see it first weekend.
Yes.
So I think we're going to see this have a really, really good hold.
Okay. Do the nieces, my nieces, your grandkids, do they like the first two Paddington movies? Do they care about the Paddington character?
I don't know. They have the book. They have the doll.
Yeah.
But as far as the movie itself, I don't think I've even seen them.
So you've never seen a Paddington?
No.
But you know you want to see Paddington in Peru.
Because when we went to see Dogman, they showed the coming attractions, and it looked really cute. You know, he's in this jungle in Peru and all this going on. I said, oh, that's really cute. You know, so when I told Colette, my daughter, yeah, Mom, maybe you could take them one day this week. I said, yeah, okay, that sounds okay.
So that's a thing we don't talk about a lot when we talk about these kids' movies, is obviously it's Guardians getting the kids out of the house.
Yeah.
But also adults getting the kids out of the house as a favor to someone else, which seems
unless they're taking them, which is getting them out of the house too.
Right. But for you, it feels like a lot of you're going to the movies with them is you're doing a favor for someone else.
Diner and
really waste some time.
Has some mac and cheese, and you know, it's a fun day. It's a fun day. Yeah.
So
no, I was going to ask because we had a question about this. Obviously, Paddington's from Peru, and that's why he's going to Peru. We all know this is a fact. There's no reason why you wouldn't know this. But is that a reason why you would see this movie over the first two? Did you like the fact that he's going to Peru? No,
it's just that I saw it on the big screen.
Okay.
You know, the coming attractions, and it looked really good. You know, when you watch it on TV, it doesn't have the same effect.
Absolutely.
You know, because I've started watching maybe one, and like after he's sitting at the breakfast table eating breakfast, I said, no, this don't look too good. So, and I would change it.
Right.
But I have the option of doing my controls, changing, you know, putting on my PBS or whatever.
Right.
So Paddington eating, you know,
marmalade
sandwiches is no competition for PBS. Like you would switch away.
Yes,
okay.
Right. Yes. You're like, all right, there's a Bee Gees reunion that was filmed in 2005.
Right.
I need to watch it now.
That half of them are gone.
Yeah. How often do you watch these concerts and you're just trying to figure out who's still alive today?
Oh my God, all of them. The doo-wop concerts, and
those are always the one where you're like, are any of these like the Drifters original?
A lot of them are younger, you know, a younger group, younger fellas coming in, but you'll have one or two of the originals.
Yeah,
right. Well, as long as you have one living original
that
member,
see an older man singing, keeping up with them. But
that's what allows them to sell the tickets.
Right.
It's just you have one guy in the back who was alive in the 50s.
And,
So Paddington or the Paddington movies, you say you watch them for a few minutes and you click off. Do you usually get stay longer for an episode of the B.O. Boys or watching Paddington? Would you change the channel up quicker?
Let me see. One is on my phone, and the other one is my control watching TV. So probably the TV.
You leave longer.
No, I'll do faster.
Oh, okay, all right. So she listens to us more than she watches the Paddington movies.
Yes,
eating breakfast.
Yes.
So, Paddington in Peru. Would you be even more interested in seeing it if Paddington was in New York instead of Peru?
Oh, that would be amazing. Oh, I would love to see him in New York because he originally, where was the first one? In England,
London.
In London, yeah. I know the guy from Downton Abbey was the father, so that kind of caught my eye because I like him, but It lost me right
It lost
away.
you when he's eating breakfast.
Yeah.
You've seen that. You eat breakfast yourself. You don't need to watch a bear
I
eat
don't
breakfast.
need to see a bear with marmalade on his toast.
But if Paddington was in Bensonhurst eating pizza.
Oh, God. L&B, Spumoni, sure, hell yeah.
Yeah. If Paddington was walking down 86th Street
with
like John Travolta with a paint can. Yeah. You knew where I was going.
What if it was a can of marmalade?
No good. No
okay.
good. No
It has to be a paint can?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And Paddington has not a marmalade sandwich. He needs 2 slices of pizza stacked on each other.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Then you would watch that.
Oh, come on. Yeah.
So you think, though, you will see this in the movie theater in the next week? The kids are home.
Yeah, I'll probably go see it.
Okay.
Looks cute.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, for the second time today, let's talk about Dogman.
Dogman.
Because you did mention you saw the Paddington trailer
At
Dogman.
And I saw Snow White, too.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, that too. That's another one that's on my must-see list.
All right. Well, because I drafted that, we have a movie draft that we did.
Right.
And that's one of the movies I drafted. So what was the reaction from you and the nieces?
Girls, yeah. They definitely want to go see it. Yeah.
Wow. So Clayton, you think...
When does that open?
That opens in March. I think in 3 weeks. I think it's like March 14th or 21st.
Oh, that's a good Easter break movie.
Yeah. These kids have a lot of breaks these days.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I feel like in our day, we never had a break.
We rarely had a break. And also, I see kids out at all times during the day. And I'm like, so they just get out of school at noon now? Because when I was a kid, you didn't get out of school until like 3 o'clock.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You never saw kids on the street.
Yeah. And that's not counting detention, which you had frequently.
Perpetually.
Really?
In perpetuity.
No way.
Yeah. So, but I see these kids at like noon and I'm like, they've got backpacks. Are they all skipping school? Are they up truant?
A lot of half days.
A lot of half days.
Yeah. Celia had one Friday for Valentine's Day.
Half a day for Valentine's Day?
Yeah.
That's not a federal holiday.
No.
It's a greeting card holiday.
That's Hallmark.
It's Hallmark.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I mean, that is a great explanation, Clayton, of why we see these kids' movies do so well weeks after they've come out, because these kids are not in school anymore.
No, they're not in school.
Right, right.
So you've got to put them somewhere. So that's why Mufasa did so well 3 weeks after it came out. Right. I do agree now. I think Paddington's going to do great this week.
Right.
Because these kids don't go to school anymore.
And it's also winter. So where are you going to take them? You don't want to take them to a playground. You don't want to take,
Right.
And it's, you bring them to a movie. Kills a couple of hours.
So,
and you're sitting quiet watching a movie.
Right.
Yeah, I enjoy it.
So Snow White looks good.
Yeah, that looked really good.
Okay.
Yeah.
And where did they land with the other non-Snow White characters? They were originally the dwarves. Now they might be something else. Like,
they're calling them something different.
Okay, but you said they're now computerized.
Computerized, yes.
Okay.
And you saw that in the coming attractions. And
okay.
It looked kind of off, especially if I had heard and I knew.
Yeah.
But,
that they were supposed to be people.
It's supposed to be people.
And now they're and is the effect disturbing looking, or do you think the kids will be okay with it?
No, I think the kids will be fine.
Okay.
The kids will be fine.
Do you think it'll get to Clayton? Do you think when Clayton sees this, it might throw him off to see the digitized seven little men? No, I mean, it's
really good, but I knew that it wasn't,
Yeah.
So,
you knew the whole backstory, Peter Dinklage.
Yeah, I knew the story,
his protest.
Yes,
so Clayton, now you have this in your draft. Are you feeling more confident after hearing Mom talk about it?
I'm feeling very confident. It hit tracking at, I think, 65 to 70 openings, so that's not bad. I mean, I'm thinking this is going to be along the lines of the Cinderella movie. It's not going to be a Beauty and the Beast. It's not going to be, but hopefully it does better than Dumbo. Did either of you know that the screenplay for this movie is by Greta Gerwig?
Really?
No, the Snow White movie?
Yeah. And Aaron Cressida Wilson.
Okay.
So
I did not know that.
I didn't know that. Wow, interesting.
In honor of SNL 50, I'll say that's some weird, wild stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to see what they are referring to the CGI creations as.
Yeah, because I don't think they're calling them the Seven Dwarves.
No.
And I don't think
and
they're calling.
Shouldn't. They
shouldn't.
Yeah, that's terrible.
There you go.
Phrase. Yes.
Look at that. See, people could change.
Yes.
Well, I think it's just Snow White and her companions. That's probably what it is. We can just refer to them as companions.
As the seven companions.
Yeah.
Do you think that'll catch on?
Friends.
The seven friends. Yeah. I wonder if they'd get into legal trouble with the sitcom Friends. Do they have the copyright on using the word friends in the title?
Well, is that going to be a big part of the movie? Her with these seven characters?
Yeah,
or?
well, they could call them the seven characters.
Seven
Snow White and the seven characters.
No,
yeah, because companion will bring to mind a current box office disappointment, the movie Companion.
Yeah, there is a horror movie that's out right now called Companion.
And it also sounds very X-rated.
Okay, let's dig into this.
You think Companion is an X-rated term?
Well,
you think Snow White and the Seven Companions would be a movie shown at a very specific type of theater, a theater Fred Willard would visit.
Yes.
R.I.P.
And Pee Wee Herman. Yes.
And Pee Wee.
Yeah.
If Pee Wee Herman was alive today, he would want to go see Snow White and the Seven Companions.
He'd have them on his show. I mean,
he'd have them on his show. He would bring back the Pee Wee Herman's Playhouse to have Snow White and the Seven Companions.
The Seven Companions.
My mom is right. That does feel. That does feel like a certain type of
children.
It's not for children.
Right.
The Seven Companions.
Right.
What if it was Snow White and the Seven Peers?
Seven peers.
They're just peers.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're her peers.
Yeah.
That just
seven buddies.
The seven buddies.
Yeah.
Snow White and the Seven Buddies. It sounds.
Or how about just Snow White?
Well, that's what it's called.
That's what it's called.
Okay,
Snow White.
Thank you.
I think this conversation already happened in the halls of Disney, and they fell right upon what you came up with.
Where someone drew the artwork up for Snow White and the Seven Companions.
Right.
And they saw that.
X-rated little men.
Yeah. There's a lot of bulges. Yeah. They were like, why did you draw these bulges on these companions?
They're
Well, they're companions.
They're companions. You have to do that.
Snow White smiling a lot.
Yeah.
Would you go see that? Maybe, obviously, you wouldn't take the nieces, but would you go see Snow White and the Seven Companions?
No.
Times Square, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah. Hit up Times Square.
Yeah, that's Snow White and the Seven Companions sounds like a movie that there's someone on the sidewalk trying to get you to come in and see it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, we've got the Seven Companions behind this booth.
Come follow me, yes.
Yeah, come follow me to see Snow White and the Seven Companions. Right. So, so I think they landed at a good place just calling it Disney Snow White.
Disney Snow White, yes.
Yeah, that's the way to go.
Yes.
So you did see Dogman.
Yes, I did.
And we do need this report of what exactly happens in this movie. What is the movie about? Because you were telling me that it's got a strange premise.
He's a cop,
right,
and his dog, and they're in some kind of confrontation at the beginning, and they get hurt. And in the operating room, they say, "Well, we could save his head, and we could save his body," and they kind of fuse them together.
They do fuse them.
Yes. Well, they don't show it.
Okay.
But, you kind of know what's going on.
So it's just off-screen screaming?
Yeah.
Like you hear bloody screaming?
No.
Okay.
No. It's just like instant talk, and then the next thing you do, you see Dogman.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So do you see, after they do the surgery, do you see the headless body?
No, of course not.
You don't
see any of the medical waste?
No.
Okay. Do you see it?
The scenes? No.
Do you see in the background a bucket that says medical waste that we could assume the Dogman's body is in?
No, you don't see paws sticking out of a bucket. No.
Okay, you don't see paws sticking out of a bucket.
No.
Missed opportunity.
Yeah, I think just like have that in the background, just so the kids. It's not in the front that the kids see, but you would like it to see that in the back.
Well, I don't know if I would like it. But,
okay, but you would get it.
Right, of course. Yeah. I mean, the whole premise is putting these two things together.
Right.
a human and a dog.
Do you think that's a surgery that someone is considering right now in real life? Do you think Dogman was based on real surgeries?
Well, maybe years to come we'll all have dog heads. Who knows?
Wow. Would you want that, Clayton?
A dog head?
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't prefer it.
Okay.
But I do think that when we're talking future, everybody talks about jetpacks and things, right? I do think that it's more likely we'll all have dog heads before we have flying cars and jetpacks.
Right.
Okay.
Like that feels more like the future that we're headed towards.
Right.
Yeah. Well, there's just
like Jetsons would be, they'd all have dog heads.
Yes.
Well, especially with our new Secretary of Health,
You could imagine that he's going to order some dog head surgeries.
Sure, why not?
Why not? Okay.
Why not?
No
Sure.
seed oils, beef tallow, and dog heads.
And dog heads.
That's the platform.
And no vaccines, that's it.
Yeah.
Get ready for another pandemic,
What
folks.
about flea baths? Do you think he'd be pro flea bath for people with dog heads?
He might.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's how he's going to treat measles going forward, is you have a flea bath.
Flea bags, right.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, there's so many dogs out there. It doesn't make sense. There's more dogs than there is like plutonium to fuel a flying car.
Mm-hmm.
And it's better than eating them. So yeah,
it is. I guess it is better than eating them.
Yes.
So Clayton, you're not loving the idea, but you're accepting that it will happen to you someday.
I mean, the percentage chance of it happening is high, so I think I have to brace myself.
Yes.
I'm not going to just put my head in a hole,
right,
and wait for it to get chopped off and replaced with a dog head.
Right.
I got to live my life.
You got to live your life. But
I can't be afraid of
that's
everything.
I gotta be able to talk.
Exactly.
Right. Do you think that you and
this podcast will be
Yeah.
And what do you think?
Do you think it would be better, worse, or the same?
Would you listen?
About the same.
Would you listen longer?
Maybe.
Yeah.
That would catch me. Yeah.
If you saw a clip on Instagram of the B.O. boys where I was still me, but Clayton was a half dog person, would you be more likely to watch to the end?
That would be very interesting. Yes, absolutely.
There'd definitely be a bucket of medical waste in the background of my StreamYard window.
Yeah. And Christopher would love to cut that clip. The first clip where Clayton is now a half dog.
Oh, he'd saw my head off. He'd be the one who started the surgery.
Yeah. We can't afford a doctor.
Yeah. He'd initiate the surgery for sure.
So
what kind of dog would you want to be? A bulldog?
Oh, bulldog.
A poodle?
What? I don't want to be one of those dogs that always has like black stuff in its eyes, the corner of its eyes.
So
like, why are they wiping that dog's eyes? It's like always, right?
Now in that situation, your dog head, you've got the stuff in your eyes.
I just got the gunk in my eyes. Like, what is it?
Is it my responsibility to wash these eyes?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, because you'd be able in Dogman. He's a half dog. Is he able to feed himself, or did he need an owner?
Let me see. I don't think they had any eating scenes.
Okay, so you never see the dog man at a bowl.
I think he does eat out of a bowl.
He does eat out of a bowl.
Yeah.
But he's able to fill it
eat
himself.
Out of bowls.
Right.
Everybody eats out of bowls.
Well, I'm saying a dog doesn't fill its own head first. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when you eat your oatmeal, Clayton, you're still using a spoon.
For now.
Sure. Yeah,
For now.
I mean, I got to get used to it.
So did you enjoy Dogman?
I loved it.
Okay.
I really did. I thought it was really cute.
Yes. And I do just want to ask you, because you brought it up before, you were thrown by something in the movie, right? You were thrown by the way that the dog man speaks. You mentioned this previously.
Yes. Well, because there were other animals in the movie, and they all spoke, and Dogman just barked. So I turned to my granddaughter. I says, "How come Dogman don't talk? Everybody else is talking." "I don't know, Grandma. I don't know." That was that.
And that was that.
I was very upset.
You were upset that she didn't answer your question.
No, I was very upset that he wasn't able to talk.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was very upsetting to me.
Do you feel like you understood what he was going through, even though he couldn't talk?
Yes.
But you wanted to hear him talk.
Yeah.
Well, in his head, he was screaming.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, it came out
Yeah, but it was like a Johnny Get Your Gun situation.
Yes. Oh my God. Johnny Get Your Gun.
So, we think inside of Dogman, he is just saying, please end this, please. Every time he barks, he's just saying, please end this, please end this.
Right.
This hurts.
Yeah. No,
it hurts so much.
It was cute.
But it was still cute.
Yeah, very cute. Done in a cute way.
It was internal pain and suffering and screaming done in a very cute way.
Very sweet way, yes.
Very sweet way.
Yes. When Dogman dies, do you think he goes to heaven?
Oh, doggy heaven? I don't know. Good question.
Because according to Don Bluth, all dogs go to heaven, but he's an unholy combination of man and dog. True. Does he go to dog heaven or does he go to regular heaven?
Oh, that's a good question.
I guess that's sequel. That's for the sequel.
Right. Sequel.
All dog men go to heaven.
Question mark.
Right. Do you think people would, people in heaven, I don't think they'd want to see Dogman up there.
No, it would set a bad precedent.
People in heaven are very loving and
welcoming,
sure.
Okay.
Yeah, we'd welcome Dogman.
Okay. All right, so Dogman, it's doing well. I mean, 30% drop, pretty good.
It's definitely the week to talk about it.
This is definitely the week to spend over a half hour on Dogman. Yeah, this is a huge episode for us because we had a giant blockbuster open at number 1, a Marvel movie, the most popular type of movie of the last 15 years.
Who's in that?
So
that's Chris Evans again, or
Chris Evans is not in it. So
okay.
It's Anthony Mackie, who was Captain America.
Him.
He's good.
Him. Yes.
So let's talk about it. Captain America: Brave New World, number 1. We're finally talking about the movie that made $88 million this weekend.
Guys, you're never gonna believe this.
Why?
I did it again.
No, you didn't.
I didn't.
Oh.
I didn't do it again. I'm joking.
My God.
Oh, wait, I did. Oh, no, I didn't.
Okay, Mom, would you have killed Clayton?
Dogman coming up.
Oh, this would be a Dogman situation. You were about to cut Clayton's head off and sew something on.
So a sock or something.
Sock man.
Oh my God. That would have been rough. That would have been a turning point in our friendship.
Pat almost turned into the Red Hulk.
I almost turned into the Red Hulk. I mean, I wish I had those powers.
Yeah.
After you said that. So the Marvel movies, Mom, are you still, because you were pretty into those at one point.
Yeah, I've seen them.
Your favorite franchise within the Marvel movies are the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, they were funny. They were good.
But are you a big fan of the other Marvel movies?
Well,
did you keep up with
Iron Man,
Robert Downey Jr.,
Captain Hulk?
Yeah.
And even Scarlett Johansson, right?
She's Black Widow.
Right.
I think I took you to a Doctor Strange movie. We saw that in the theater at some point.
Well, the three of us saw Guardians 2 together.
We all saw Guardians together.
Right.
But these aren't your favorite types of movies.
No. I mean, I wouldn't go out of my way to go see them by myself.
Right.
Yeah.
But you did, okay, I mean, I do want to bring this up. Within the superhero movies, you did go by yourself to see Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yes, I did.
And that's your favorite.
That's my Hugh Jackman.
That's your Hugh
Jackman. My Hugh Jackman phase. Are you kidding?
This is something we talked about years ago on a different version of this show. You gave us your hunks. Oh,
right.
Would you say right now Hugh Jackman is your number 1 hunk?
Oh, definitely. After the show 2 weeks ago? Oh, definitely.
I took Mom to see Hugh Jackman on Broadway because I'm a great son, best son.
Yes, in the city. Yes.
So Hugh Jackman
at Radio City.
Right. So Hugh Jackman, he's the reason you went to see Deadpool and Wolverine in the theater.
And I like the other one too, Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
I think they're funny together.
Right.
I've seen them do commercials and it just, it looked funny to me. And I enjoyed it.
Does Ryan make the top 5 hunk list?
No, not really. No.
Because Hugh Jackman, I think Tom Hanks was your number 1 hunk when we talked about this years ago. Is he still top 5?
Well, yeah, I guess so. I mean, who else is there?
Idris Elba. He's a big one.
Yeah, he's number 2.
Number 2.
Okay, so it's Hugh Jackman, Idris Elba, Tom Hanks, top 3 right now.
Okay, yeah, I would say that.
Okay.
Is there any new? How about Austin Butler?
Oh, he's adorable.
There we go.
He's in that Dune movie, right?
He was in Dune 2.
That's the one that I didn't even recognize him, but then you told me he was in it.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
He's all his head shaved. He looked totally different.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. No, my new favorite is what's his name? The one that we saw.
Oh, Timothy Chalamet.
Oh, I love him.
Wow. Okay, so this is.
I love him.
So
He would be number. What was my second one again?
Idris Elba was 2.
Right.
Hugh Jackman's 1. Idris Elba's 2. Does he move into 3 ahead of
Yes,
Hanks?
yeah. He's adorable.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then Austin Butler maybe is top 5.
Yeah, Elvis. Yeah.
Okay.
He was great in Elvis. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, that's a solid top 4 or 5.
I mean, this is big for Timothy Chalamet because right now he's campaigning to win the Oscar, trying to win votes.
Oh my God.
I mean, this is
He
big.
was great in that movie.
He was great in.
I loved him in that movie.
And now the word's going to get out. He's made the top 5 Mom Stango hunk list.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Prestigious list.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that could sway some voters.
Yes. My Willy Wonka. Are you kidding? Yeah.
So today was the BAFTAs and Mama Stango's hunks list. Both great predictors for Oscars.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So this is big for Timmy. So, okay, Captain America, Brave New World. Clayton, this opened to 88 million.
Did you see it?
I did not see it yet. It just opened on Friday.
Wow. Oh, okay.
And I've been with you since Friday.
Oh, that's true. That's
so,
true.
So you could track my movements since it's open.
Right, true that.
So Clayton, this opened on the highest end. I mean, this was a movie that we thought could have really underperformed. Maybe people don't care about Marvel anymore. They only care about Deadpool and the big franchises. 88 million. This was high end. It made 100 million the 4-day. People still like these movies.
They don't like these movies, though. I mean, that's the thing, is that it's got the lowest cinema score of any MCU movie.
But they went.
B-. But here's the problem.
Okay.
They went to see this movie, hoping the magic's back. This is a Captain America movie. This isn't a Marvel's movie. This isn't an Ant-Man movie. This is one of the staple characters of these films that we loved.
Right.
And people came out saying, this stinks.
Okay.
Really?
It did get bad reviews.
Really?
But not just from critics, because critics don't really matter with these movies, although they have turned on the MCU. But they turned on the MCU, I think, before the audience did. Mm-hmm. This movie, with the way audiences are talking about it, bodes very poorly for Thunderbolts. I think this is going to be, and God, we can't. It's hard to talk about the Scott Mendelson Tomb Raider, rule here, with the Tomb Raider first movie doing really well and the second one being better, but since everybody hated the first one, they didn't go see it.
Right.
And this is what the 50th movie in this whole run franchise, of MCU movies, right? So it is a sequel, though, because all MCU movies are sequels. They made all of their movies sequels because they're all connected. This could be the one that people say, I'm officially done. I'm officially done. This is boring. We don't care anymore.
Right.
And then they're going to be sunk.
I guess so. But they've had bad movies. They've had Quantumania. Have you ever seen that one? Did you see the last Ant-Man movies? You like Paul Rudd.
I love Paul Rudd, but no, I didn't see any of the
Does he make the list? Does he make the hunk list?
No, he makes my comedy list.
Comedy list, okay.
Okay. Yeah. Separate from the hunk list.
Yeah.
Yes.
People make you laugh, but they don't. Yes. They're not necessarily hunks.
Right.
Yeah.
He's cute.
Yeah.
He's cute.
But like that movie, people hated. People hated the Marvels. I don't know if there's a movie that is so bad that it's ever going to end this. And I know that Captain America Brave New World, it seems like people don't like it. It's 50-something%, but it's not a full-on hated disaster. But I think it's a shrug. But it's a shrug that just made 88 million.
I think general audiences might be now bailing.
Okay.
I think it's one of those movies where, like I said, this is one of the marquee characters who, Chris Evans isn't even in this. So this is Anthony Mackie, a guy who, for all intents and purposes, seems like a great guy. Could be a monster. We don't know. But he doesn't put butts in the seats. He's never had a movie where they were like, Anthony Mackie, He's the lead. I'm there.
Right.
The only thing making people go is because this is Captain America.
Right.
There's hope that, are we getting back on track here? And this movie, when you hear people talking about it, when you hear the buzz, that cinema score, I mean, B-, people were like, oh, B-, we got that on a quiz. That'd be okay. In a movie sense, that is terrible.
That's bad.
That's bad.
It is, but
you're bullish on this movie.
I am bullish because it came in so much higher than we were predicting.
It didn't come in much higher than we were predicting.
Well, you guys I had it 81. You had it in 79.
79, yeah, but that's.
But we did say it could have gone as low as 60. It did better than it needed to do.
But here's the thing, Pat. It hit its tracking. They're acting as if this went higher than the tracking we were hearing. It did not. This was within the tracking that we were hearing. So they have sort of figured out the amount of people who want to see these movies, right?
And it's still a lot. 88 million is a lot.
It's still a lot, but this does not bode well. It didn't overperform, right? It didn't do anything spectacular. They figured out, okay, this is the sort of level that these movies are at. And I think that this does not bode well for the future because of the reaction to this. You cannot understate the B- here.
You can't, but also I think you're understating that it did 100 million in the 4-day.
Well, we don't know that for sure now.
It's pretty much
Sunday.
It's pretty much going to happen.
Okay.
So I do think there's a little bit of a personal grudge where you are not giving the due to this movie. Did on the high end of the tracking.
It didn't do on the high end of the tracking. It did what the tracking was.
It did on the high end.
What are you talking about? The high end of the tracking was 95.
It did in the middle high.
Okay.
The middle high.
Did you hear that middle high is what Pat's saying?
Oh, so you're not buying that.
Is middle high a thing?
Middle high.
I think this movie would have done much better in the summer.
Well, okay, that's a big thing.
I think it would have been a better summer movie.
Yeah. Well, I guess they want to spread these out all year. Have a movie that comes out in the winter. And I mean, Clayton, do you think there's anything to? And Mom, there hasn't been a blockbuster in a while.
What was the last one?
I mean, probably the Lion King movie, I mean, if you're going that high, yeah. There's been nothing as big as Barbie since Barbie.
Right.
But there hasn't just been January's had a lot of small movies. So this was the first big budget movie that's come out since before Christmas. Right. So do you think there's anything to my theory, Clayton, that
it will do better? That
people just were desperate to see anything. That if this movie had come out 2 weeks after another big movie, it would have done a lot less.
Yeah, probably. But I do think that, there was a level of hopefulness from, we saw it with David Thompson before the movie came out, before he had seen it. There was a level of hopefulness that this was going to be good.
That would be good. And
it was good. And it's not. And I think you can't understate that this is a bad movie that people don't like. I mean, and it's a movie that was stitched together. I mean, talk about Dogman. This is the Dogman of movies.
Yeah. They reshot it.
Yeah.
There was a lot of,
There's a bucket of guts in the corner with this movie.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, they've been remaking this movie for the last 3 years.
Wow.
So Harrison Ford
is he in it?
He is in it.
No way.
So, okay, talk about that. How come you're so surprised to hear that Harrison Ford is in
he's such a big draw. You talk about Harrison Ford. I didn't even know he was in. Did they even advertise that he's in this movie?
He is sort of he's the number 2 in this, and the big draw is that he turns into a Hulk in this movie.
No, I don't.
And he's a red Hulk. Did you know that they came in red?
No, I wouldn't want to see that.
So you would just feel embarrassed to see Harrison Ford as a Hulk.
Come on. No, he's Indiana. No.
He's playing the president again. Like he did.
Really?
Yeah, like he did in Air Force One.
Air Force One. Yeah, but Air Force One, he didn't turn into the Hulk.
No.
Do you think
he could have. He was knocking those guys off planes.
He was
whatnot.
angry. Right. He was for sure angry.
That's something, Clay, we didn't even think of. Just the secondhand embarrassment for people who don't want to see. It's one thing if it's not a draw.
Yeah.
But like my mom, you don't want to see Harrison Ford turn into a monster.
No,
right.
No. I wouldn't want to see it.
Because there's a level of dignity that you want your stars to have, right? I mean, he's a guy that you've watched since the inception. I mean, did you see American Graffiti? Like, was that a movie? That was a big movie for you.
Of course,
and that fresh-faced
Ron Howard, sure.
Yeah, fresh-faced Harrison Ford, and then you saw the indie movies and Star Wars and all these things. And now he's being relegated to turning into some CGI monstrosity. Yeah, it's dispiriting.
It's like, what's that English actor? He was in Jaws.
Oh, Michael Caine.
Michael Caine, they asked him, why did you do Jaws? He goes, my mom wanted a house.
Yeah.
And that's why he did Jaws 3D.
That's why he did Jaws 3D.
Do you bring up that anecdote hinting at the fact that I should act in a Jaws movie to be able to buy you a house? Is that why you brought up that anecdote?
No.
That's not what
I'm
you mean.
just saying that at the ends of maybe an actor's career.
Right. They do things for their mother.
Yeah.
You think
now that you mentioned it.
Do you think that Harrison Ford is playing Red Hulk in this Captain America movie because he's doing it for his mother?
No. Does he need the money? I don't know.
So it could be like a gambling addiction that he has going on. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's
what was his last movie? I don't even remember.
He did an Indiana Jones sequel that did really poorly.
Which was terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
If this were Tom Hanks and Tom Hanks was in a Marvel movie where he turns into a Hulk, would that be the worst case scenario?
Oh, no. No way. He wouldn't do it.
He wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
He wouldn't do it. No. That's the difference. He wouldn't do it.
He wouldn't do it.
He's
got more class. No.
He wouldn't do it. I think that's something that Harrison Ford should think about this weekend. It's like Tom Hanks would not have done this.
Right.
Tom Hanks would not have done this.
Right. But Tom Hanks doesn't have a crippling weed addiction.
That's the thing, is Harrison Ford spends a lot of money on drugs.
Really?
But I mean, weed, not.
Yeah.
As far as we know.
Or maybe he's got some kind of pain infliction that.
It could be that. Well,
I don't think he's
crashed
Snoop Dogg, but
He has crashed a lot of airplanes, small airplanes.
Really?
Has
he? Oh, poor thing.
Yeah. So he needs this.
Yeah, he needs to be the Hulk.
He needs to be the Hulk.
Right.
So Clayton, I think last movie to talk about here in this top 10, top 5, number 3, Heart Eyes, came in number 3.
That?
Well, so we'll tell you, it's a horror movie that came out last weekend.
A horror movie.
And usually movies, every weekend they drop a little.
Exactly,
you hope that they hold. And
right.
This movie made more in its second weekend than it did in its first weekend.
Wow.
Which is rare.
Yeah. And it's not that it opened limited and added theaters.
Wow.
Same amount of theaters. It made 20% more in its second weekend.
Wow. Maybe that's just talk. People who've seen it told friends, you got to see this.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you haven't seen the commercial for this movie at all.
No.
So it's about a killer. It's a horror movie about a killer who only kills couples.
Oh, geez.
And he has a mask where his mask has little hearts where his eyes would be.
Oh my God. No wonder why I didn't see it. They didn't put that on TV.
They didn't put that. They didn't advertise that before Dogman?
No, no way.
So,
not when my little granddaughter's there. No.
Clayton, what do you think happened here? Heart Eyes made $10 million in its second weekend. Kind of a phenomenon. I did get a text today from our frequent guest, our chief horror correspondent, Brett of The New Flesh. Do you listen to The New Flesh podcast?
No.
It's a horror movie podcast.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It'd be great if you said every second of it.
Every second.
Oh, well, actually, he was one of our guests at the New York City Live show.
Yes.
So that's Brett.
Yes.
So he texted me today.
Yes.
He's so excited because he loves horror movies.
Yes.
And
I remember him that night.
And he was good on the show.
Yes, very good. Yes.
So Clayton,
but that's a very strange Valentine movie. I mean,
well, it's called Heart Eyes.
Yeah, so
Hearts.
I guess people think it's going to be a romantic movie.
Well, I mean, couples do like going to horror movies together.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
When you were dating, and we could say just dating my dad. You don't have to go into dating anyone else before or since. But when you were dating Dad, did you ever go see horror movies together?
No.
Did you go see Poltergeist might have been out when you guys were together, or a Texas Chainsaw Massacre sequel?
I mean, Exorcist.
Exorcist. Did you ever?
Oh, The Exorcist I saw, but I saw that with Grandma.
Okay.
I was young. Yeah. We saw Ghost. I mean, I don't know.
Oh, right. That's right. You saw Ghost together in the theater.
We saw Ghost. We loved it. Yeah.
Great movie.
Yeah.
Classic movie.
Yeah.
So
Swayze, hunk.
Swayze. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a sweetheart.
He's a hunk.
yeah.
Yeah.
He'll always have that spot. Yeah. You don't move
yeah.
him up or down at this point.
He's perennial.
Yes.
So, yeah, I mean, couples do go see horror movies together, especially teenagers and people in their 20s.
I could see dates. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think, is that what happened here, Clay? I mean,
so.
Valentine's weekend.
Yeah.
But still, to go up that much, it's got to be more than that. People must love this movie.
Well, here's the thing. It did open low. I mean, it opened low. And I think that's one of those things where it was a movie that didn't really reach like a higher level that it could have. And then now it's going up, which is good. I mean, this is a positive thing.
Right.
But this is not a movie that opened to 20 million and then went up.
Right.
It's a movie that opened to like 7 or 8, maybe something like that.
I think it did 8.5.
8.5, and then it went up, which is still great. And I think this is a good sign for this movie.
Yeah.
But I do think it had a lot to do with it was tied to Valentine's Day.
Right,
Smart marketing. The heart eyes were out there. You saw the hearts. People were like, this is interesting.
Right,
I don't want to see Captain America.
Right.
Paddington is for next week.
For kids. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And so Love Hurts obviously sucked, and nobody wants to support you winning this draft.
Yes,
so
Love Hurts is my movie.
So they all sort of, said,
boycotted
and be like, we'll watch it on a streamer.
To me,
Absolutely. And so I think that's what put what put Hard Eyes over the top.
Is this guaranteed there will be a Hard Eyes 2? I mean, this movie's a low budget movie. It's already at 21 million. I'm going to state on this show prediction. There will be a Hard Eyes 2 in our lifetime.
Right. In our lifetime, okay.
In our lifetime.
I mean, I can't not say no to that because every IP is for the. Although Bagman, there's never going to be a Bagman sequel.
Here's my prediction: we will see Hard Eyes 2 before Clayton has the head of a dog. Two things that are guaranteed to happen, but I think Hard Eyes 2 will happen before your dog surgery.
I totally hope so.
You hope so.
I'm not willing to say that.
Okay, you have something scheduled.
Well, it just depends on how long it takes to write the script.
Yeah.
Because it's got to be right.
I'm so excited that this movie had this big jump the second weekend. I'm excited for people like Brett who love horror movies, and and it's good to have a new horror killer that's viable.
Right. No more Mike Myers and
Right. People get sick of that after a while.
Right.
Well, you've got Jason who's caught up in litigation.
Jason.
Freddie is having same sort of issues. Like, what are we doing with this guy?
Right.
So you need replacements. And we got Art the Clown. He's stepping up. Chucky in the high chair.
Right,
I mean, who knows? Hard Eyes Killer.
Yeah, we talked about this before it came out. It's got a good design. It's got the red hearts where the eyes should be.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
But he could see through them.
He could see through them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's supernatural or if he's a person who's just got like a ski mask on. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
But he can see through them. He knows who he's stabbing when he stabs them.
Does he have a particular
weapon?
What he's looking for? Or,
he's looking for couples.
Any couple.
Any couple will do, I guess.
Yeah.
Guy, girl, girl, guy.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
People.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Equal opportunity killer.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at him.
I love that you went through the list. Guy, girl, guy, girl.
I mean,
He's killing them all. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I think it's playing in the same theater as Snow White and the Seven Companions. Your version of Hard Eyes.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm excited. I think, the Valentine's thing was big. We'll see what it does next weekend. But I think it's going to get some buzz from the fact that it went up this weekend. I think that's big word of mouth.
Right.
And nothing huge opens next weekend, I forget. So Hard Eyes should have a pretty good runway for the next few weeks.
What opens next weekend? What's coming up?
There is a big horror movie comes out next week, The Monkey. There's something called the monkey. Have you seen a commercial for the monkey yet?
I don't know. I don't think so.
The image of it, it's based on a Stephen King story, and the image is a monkey with drums. And I think I don't know if the monkey kills people or the monkey is like an idol that causes death.
It causes death. So it is directed by a gentleman named Oz Perkins, who directed Longlegs, which was a big hit. But Oz Perkins is the son of Anthony Perkins.
Really?
Yeah.
Psycho.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So his son made a movie called The Monkey that comes out next weekend.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's going to knock the other one, Hard Eyes, right off the chart.
That's my thought. I think the buzz on The Monkey is very hot.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to see Hard Eyes. This was its weekend.
Yeah, this was its weekend.
Right.
Yeah.
And what a weekend it was.
It's Valentine's run, and that's
and that's it. And now Anthony Perkins' son is back.
Come on, Anthony Perkins, Psycho. Jeez.
So
talk about scary movies.
That would have been before you were dating with Psycho.
Yeah, I was a kid, and I remember. Oh God, couldn't even take showers.
Wow. So people were pretty rancid for a while when that movie was out.
Yes.
Yeah. They were just sponge baths.
Yeah, that was a big one then. The Birds. You know, there was a few.
Yeah.
Alfred Hitchcock.
So
traumas.
So that's the weekend. Anything else, Clayton, that you don't think we hit? One of Them Days continues to do well, went up 4%. It's at 43 million one of them days. And
What is that?
It's a comedy movie. I'll show you the trailer afterwards because I saw it. I think you would like it.
Oh, really?
I don't think there's anyone in it who you would know immediately, but it was just a good, two friends have to make a lot of money in a day type of movie.
It went comedy?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I like comedies.
Speaking of comedy, before we leave, I think we're all here for a reason, which was first to press record, which it took a while, but then we got that happening. But we're all watching SNL 50 tonight together.
Yes. Absolutely.
So Clayton, what are you most excited for SNL 50? Any big prediction or hope for this show?
Prediction or hope? I mean, we all have the same hope.
Yeah.
I think Wayne's World opening.
Right.
At least having a Wayne's World sketch somewhere in it, but hopefully
definitely.
Opening.
That has to be their biggest skit.
Yeah.
Right? Wayne's World.
Yeah. So that, I think that it's just, the run up to this has been so amazing. All of the content's been completely self-congratulatory and excessive. And I love every minute of it.
Yes. Watched everything, every documentary.
They should be so proud of themselves, and they are.
Yes.
So
it is true. The theme of every single documentary has been, this is the greatest show ever, and it's the hardest thing to do.
The hardest thing to do.
And every second of it,
we loved it.
We loved it.
Nodding. My neck hurts from nodding along to how much I agree with that sentiment. So I'm just excited to see, some of the golden era cast members. I'm hoping, which by that I mean the 86 to 93 cast, and then the Andy Samberg, that cast.
I love him. Yes.
Yeah. So we're hoping for a Lonely Island digital short for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So those are my big ones. Wayne's World digital short. I think that needs to happen.
Yes.
Yeah. What about you? Now you started watching, Mom, the original cast.
I saw it from the beginning. Yeah. 75.
So are you hoping that we see Chevy Chase on stage?
Yes.
Okay. Even no matter what state he's in, you got to get Chevy Chase.
Got to get Chevy Chase and Dan Aykroyd, but you said
he's not coming.
He's not coming. Jane Curtin and Lorraine Newman.
Yeah. Garrett Morris.
Absolutely. Are you kidding? I always say, if it wasn't for them, there'll be no SNL 50.
Right.
Would have been show. Oh yeah, it's okay. Let's cancel it.
Right.
I mean, look, they canceled Seinfeld, so they could cancel anything.
Well, they didn't. Wow. Jerry would hate to hear you say that.
Well,
he
left.
Famously, Larry King asked him,
yes,
did they cancel Seinfeld? And Jerry Seinfeld kind of went nuts on him for
really.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
but they let him leave.
They let him leave.
Yes.
But SNL 50, I'm the same. They got to open with Wayne's World. The first thing we see has to be
Wayne's World.
Yeah.
Has to be us three at the mic.
Yeah. Well,
do you feel like you've gotten to live in Wayne's World for the last hour and 15 minutes?
Yes.
Being on this podcast. So for those who because we're not filming this weekend, so you can't watch this on YouTube. But my mom was headbanging
my head.
To the Bohemian Rhapsody song, like in Wayne's World.
And so they also missed the look of utter disgust the first time I said we weren't recording. And then halfway through when I joked that we were also not recording, the look of absolute anger on Pat's face, I think would have been a meme.
Leap out of his seat.
I think that would have been a GIF that people would use frequently.
Right.
Yeah, if we had been filming that, it would have been our most viewed YouTube video ever.
That would have been on the obituary.
Yeah, that would have been the video. It would be the first video obituary.
Right.
Yeah. Man, podcaster killed months before dog head surgery would be the headline.
Researchers mourn that their body did not get to the surgical table.
I signed a contract already. My family's going to get $1 million.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That's all, $1 million. It's kind of cheap.
You would have held out for more for me.
Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, look at that face.
Look at this face. If you're going to change this face to a dog head.
Right.
You're getting at least $5 million.
I'm getting at least 10 million.
10 million. Wow. That's a mother who thinks highly of her son.
Yes.
It's at least 10 million before she lets you cut off his head and replace it with a dog.
Yes.
And your family's willing to go for $1 million.
Yeah, absolutely.
They were shocked they got that much.
They were shocked. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Where do we sign?
Yeah.
Don't let them leave before we sign.
Yeah.
So SNL 50. By the time you hear this, it'll have happened, but it's got to start with Wayne's.
And I have two predictions.
Okay, predictions.
For sketches. One of my predictions is that the alien abduction sketch with
you always say that.
I'm repeating. Clayton did tell me this was his
okay.
Yeah. So this is a prediction.
Really? You like that sketch?
I don't like it, but it's a prediction that the Kate McKinnon alien sketch will be on the 50th, and the aliens that abduct her will be the Coneheads. Now, here the problem with that is Dan Aykroyd's not there.
So there's no Coneheads.
But you will have Lorraine Newman, and you have Jane Curtin, who were both Coneheads.
I don't see them with the Coneheads on.
But you could have somebody like filling in as a Conehead.
I totally bought that prediction until you told me that Dan Aykroyd's not supposed to be on the show. I don't think there's any way you do Coneheads.
Right, because Dan Aykroyd would jump at it.
Yeah.
He would have loved to. Yeah,
that's so
great.
True. You're so right. So maybe that does not happen. But so that prediction's dead. My other prediction is that they do Mikey Day and Ryan Gosling as Beavis and Butthead at some point.
That was
the most viral.
That was so funny.
Thing they've had in years.
Yes.
And I feel like they have to be in a sketch.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah. So
I think Paul McCartney is going to end the show.
Okay.
Has to.
I think that's guaranteed.
Him or Jagger.
Yeah.
And it'll be amazing if they came out together. But, because they already did Cher. She already showed her phenomenal figure and singing and, all right, we always seen it. Oh, right, you look great. Okay.
She'd have to come out fully nude at this point in order to top what she did at the concert.
But you know what? I think that suit kind of held her up. And
Yeah.
I mean, she is going to be 80. Come on, guys.
So, so we'll all be watching that soon. So, of course, email us, theboboyspodcast@gmail.com. Let us know if you think my mom's prediction is right, that we're going to get a huge Paddington week coming up. Let us know, theboboyspodcast@gmail.com. Follow us on social media at theboboyspod on Instagram and TikTok. And watch the whole video. You might not watch the whole videos, Mom, but...
This one I will.
This one you will, because you'll be in it.
Yes.
And of course, subscribe to the Substack, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and 5 stars on Apple Podcasts. I think for this episode in particular, 5 stars.
Yes.
5-star episode.
Absolutely.
And yeah, that's all I got, Clayton. I mean, I've got nothing left to say.
Pat, I finished. You've said it all.
Yeah.
There's nothing left to be said.
Nothing left to say.
Except for, until next time, we'll smell you at the box office. Nailed it.